guys, I'm Chico from Chico Study Corner, and today I'll be dealing with the part 3 of electric charges and fields. So without any further ado, let's get into this part. So before watching this, if you haven't watched the previous parts of this chapter, please go watch it and then continue watching. So now I'll be discussing about electric flux. So what is electric flux? Electric flux is the number of field lines passing through a unit area. How? Perpendicularly. So this is electric flux. Electric flux is represented by phi. So electric flux is equal to E dot ds. So that is equal to E dot ds cos theta. Okay. So this is the electric flux formula. Now let us see let's see the more detail about the definition. So this is the unit area. This is the field line. So what is the electric flux over here? There is 3 field lines and the unit area. So over here let's write it. ds, what is ds? Area, field. So this is it. So let's see about the angle. So over here, what is the angle? I told you phi is equal to E dot ds. So what is our your ds cos theta? So over here, what can you see? The ds is also in this direction. Area vector is also in that direction. And also this electric field is also in that direction. So what will happen? What is the angle between them? 0. What is cos 0? Cos 0 is 0. No, cos 0 is 1. So phi is equal to E dot ds. If it is cos 0. And if, for example, if the field lines, if the plane is like this and the field lines are moving like this, then this makes an angle theta. Okay, this angle is used for finding phi is equal to E ds cos theta. This depends on this angle. Okay. So the Gauss's law states the net electric flux over a closed surface is 1 by epsilon 0 times the charge enclosed by it. So let's see the equation. We learned that phi is equal to E dot ds. So they say for a closed surface, phi is equal to integral. This is closed integral, okay? Integral enclosed E dot ds is equal to what? 1 by epsilon 0. What? The charge enclosed. Charge is represented by the letter Q. So, into Q enclosed. So, how will you write it? That is phi is equal to, the Gauss's law states, phi is equal to what? Q enclosed by epsilon 0. So let us prove this. Now let's take a surface. Okay, a circular ring. Okay, circular ring. This is its center, R radius, and this is R, and now we are taking a small area vector over here. Okay, this is ds. So area vector is perpendicular. Okay, so now let's prove this. So since electric field is perpendicular, or it is in the direction of r, and also perpendicular to the surface, and E is perpendicular, also ds is perpendicular, implies what? The angle between E and ds. Angle between E and ds is equal to what? 0. So what did we learn? We learned E ds cos theta is equal to phi. So over here, what is it? Theta is 0. Cos 0 is 1. So 0 is equal to phi. Phi is equal to E ds. Okay, this is not, we have taken ds. No, this is d phi. Okay, d phi. D phi is a small electric flux. Okay, so let's find about phi. Now, so for phi we learned what? Integral enclosed of E dot ds. Okay, so we know E is, electric field is a constant, so we'll take it outside. Okay, phi is equal to E dot ds, integral ds. So ds is what? The small area vector over here. So we've taken integral ds. So integral ds means ds is a small area. So for this sphere, what would be the total area? That is its what? Surface area. Total surface area, TSA. So let's write, what is the TSA of a sphere? 4 pi r square. So we'll substitute this over here. And what is E? E is what? 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 q divided by what? R square. Okay, so we'll write it. Phi is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 q, so 1 we'll make it as q by r square into what? 4 pi r square. So let's cancel what all we have to cancel. So 4 pi and 4 pi, r square and r square. So what is phi? Phi is equal to q by epsilon 0. Isn't it what I told for the Gauss theorem? See, now we have proved it. So let's see about different cases or applications of Gauss's law. We have 3 applications. Applications are first for a linear charge, then for a plane sheet, and then for a sphere. So let's see. So before discussing the 3 applications, first we'll discuss about something that is very important that comes in the applications. That is a Gaussian surface. So what's a Gaussian surface? That's a hypothetical imaginary surface around a charged body. So it's highly symmetrical surface. Okay, always it's highly symmetrical. So to be a Gaussian surface, or to be a Gaussian sphere or Gaussian cylinder, there should be either of these categories or these conditions to be followed. So first one is electric field should be a constant everywhere, or electric field should be perpendicular to the Gaussian surface, or electric field should be 0. So if this is done, then it is a Gaussian surface, or if this is done, this is also Gaussian surface, or this is the Gaussian surface. So let's learn the first application. I told you there are 3 applications, and the first application is for a long, straight, infinitely long conductor. So let's write the application number 1. So the first application is for an infinitely long conductor. So let's draw it. This is the infinitely long conductor. And then what we have to find? We have to find the electric flux at a point P, which is distance r. Okay, so we'll imagine a Gaussian surface over here. So this is r. This is r. Okay, it's a rough diagram. I'll show you the fair diagram in my notes. So this is the rough diagram. Okay, now we have to find out the We take two area vectors. Over here this is the area vector. Over here this is the area vector. And this is the electric field. So let's find out the electric field at this. First is the electric flux caused by the end phase. We will see about the end phase. So we know flux is equal to E ds cos theta. Okay? Since cos theta it's integral. Cos theta is 0. That is phi is equal to 0 for the end phase. Okay? Now let's see the area for why is cos theta 0? I forgot to mention that. That is because area vector and electric field makes an angle 0. Okay? Why is it 0? Because area vector and the electric field makes an angle 90 degree. Okay? So that's why this is 0. So next one is the area vector and the curved surface area. So for this, what is that? The angle made by both A and E is parallel. That is 0 degree angles as made by A and E. So let's make it phi is equal to integral E ds. Okay, because that's 1. So it's E ds and phi is equal to E integral ds. It's closed integral. So what is a closed integral of what do you say, the cylinder? That is its curved surface area. So E into 2 pi r L. And now we know phi is equal to Q epsilon 0. Q enclosed by epsilon 0, and we'll represent it over here. Q divided by epsilon 0. So now we have to find the value of Q. We know that what? We know something called as linear charge density. That is lambda is equal to Q divided by L. So we will write it as Q is equal to lambda L. So we will represent it over here, lambda L. Okay. Now is there something that we can cancel out? Yes. This gets cancelled, this gets cancelled. Now we have to find out the value of electric field. What is Gauss's law? The electric field, something that is related to electric field. So electric field is equal to what? We take electric field here. So 2 pi r divided by, let's see, sorry, no, it's lambda divided by 2 pi r epsilon 0. So this is what we have to prove. And there is something called as the r cap because that's a vector. Okay. So this is the first application. So let's see about the second application. So second one is for the plane sheet. So let's draw a plane sheet. So we have to find a small area, the electric field or the electric flux. So we'll imagine a Gaussian surface. Okay, this is a Gaussian surface. So we have taken it from, like, there's a distance between it. So let's find out the area vector in it. So over here we've taken this area to find out the electric flux, the number of field lines passing through it. So let's see. So over here, this also is a cylinder. So it has 3 phases. This is phase A, this is phase B, this is phase C. This in all is phase C. Now what we know, electric field lines are moving like this. Am I right? And so what happens in the area vector? So I will draw the cylinder alone over here. So this is the cylinder alone. So area vector, we will take it for the end faces first. We took it for the end faces in the previous one. So we will take it for the end faces first. And then for the curved surface area. So for the end face, the electric field is like this. The area vector is like this. So what does that imply? The angle between E and A, the electric field and area vector, is 0. So we know that what phi is equal to E integral close integral E ds cos theta. So if cos is 0, what is it? It's E ds. So now we'll write it. Phi is equal to E is a constant integral ds. So what is the A? What is like this? This is a small area. So what would be the total area over here for this surface? The total area would be what? That is A. Okay. So phi is equal to E into A. In the previous case, this was our surface and we took the area of this surface around it. Now we have to take the area of this surface. Okay. So let's make it there. And we know that we learned that area of this surface. So this is a Gaussian surface. So the area is EA and we know that phi is equal to Q divided by epsilon 0. So what is Q? We learned something known as surface charge density. In the previous case it was a line charge. Over here this is a sheet. It's an area, it's a surface. So what should we take surface charge density? So sigma is equal to what? Q by A. Therefore Q is equal to sigma A. So we'll represent it over here. That is sigma A. Now is there something that we can cancel out? Yes, these two have been cancelled. And so before that, this is only the first case. Okay, this is only the first case. This is two. There are two. I'm sorry, I just jumped into it. So this is the first case we learned that phi is equal to E dot A. Okay, we learned phi is equal to E dot A. Just stop till there. I'll resume it later. So E dot A. So this surface also has the same electric flux. This also has the same electric flux. We didn't consider this area right now. So we'll consider over here also. So over here, what is this? Area vector is like this and electric field is like this. It makes an angle 90 degree and hence the electric field on the curved surface area is 0. So for CSA, flux is equal to 0. Okay. So what is the total flux? Flux total is equal to 2EA. Okay. So what is it? Flux total is equal to 2EA. I just wrote it this side. So I have space in the board to write. So flux is equal to 2EA. Now I told you before, what was that? We learned Q is equal to sigma A. So we will represent it over here. Sigma A divided by epsilon 0. Cancel. There is what? There is 2E left in this side. So we have to find about E. So E is equal to 2 epsilon 0. Sigma by 2 epsilon 0. This is the second application. So we have learned, and this is r cap is there because it's a vector form, so that's an r cap. So it's always there. So this is the second application. The third application is about a sphere. Let's learn about it right now. So the third application is for a sphere. So first, this is a sphere which we have taken, and this is the Gaussian surface. The dotted lines are the Gaussian surface. The sphere has a radius of small r, and this is a radius of capital R. So we know that always the electric field would be perpendicular to the surface, and also if you take an area vector anywhere, that is also perpendicular. So what is that? Over here we don't have something called as two faces or two sides, curved surface area and the two end faces. It's just a whole sphere. So over here what happens is every face, every point has electric flux because this is cos 0. We know flux is equal to E ds cos theta, and this theta is always 0, so it's E ds. So we know theta is close integral E ds, and theta is equal to, we know theta is what? Q by epsilon 0. And over here what happens? E comes out because it's a constant, and ds. So what is this? We are finding the total surface area. So it's an area. So we will mark it as A. So Q by epsilon 0 is equal to E dot A. Okay. So now we have to find out E. So it's simple. E is equal to Q by 4 pi epsilon 0 r square is what we have to find. So this into r cap, okay? So into r cap. This is what is the equation that we found out from the third one. So friends, this is all for this chapter. We have come to the end of the chapter. I hope you might have understood it. And please go download the notes that I am putting in my description. So that is for better understanding. So if you have liked my video, please hit that like button. And if you are new to my channel, please subscribe to my channel and please click that small bell notification. Also share my video to other friends of yours. So see you in my next video. Till then, bye bye.